June 21st, 2021, the Supreme Court issued a ruling that would forever change college football. But this wasn't about the game itself. This was about money. And within days, everything the NCAA had spent over a century building came crashing down. College athletes can now sign million-dollar deals before taking a single snap. 5-star recruits choose schools based on their bank accounts, not their football programs. And the transfer portal has become a free agency marketplace where loyalty takes a back seat to the highest bidder. This is the story of how name, image, and likeness transformed college football into something unrecognizable, and why recruiting will never be the same. For over a century, the NCAA operated under one sacred principle: amateurism. College athletes were students first, players second. They received scholarships, room and board, but not a single dollar beyond that. Meanwhile, their schools, conferences, and the NCAA itself made billions. The SEC made $650 million in 2017 alone. CBS paid $800 million just to broadcast March Madness. Coaches earned millions. Athletic directors cashed 7-figure checks. But the players, they got their tuition paid and a pat on the back. In 2009, former UCLA basketball star Ed O'Bannon noticed something disturbing. He walked into a video game store and saw himself, his likeness, his jersey number, his playing style in an NCAA basketball game. He hadn't given permission. He hadn't been paid a cent. O'Bannon sued, and while it took years, his lawsuit cracked the foundation of the NCAA's amateurism model. Then came the case that changed everything. NCAA v. Alston. The Supreme Court ruled unanimously, 9-0, that the NCAA's restrictions on education-related benefits violated federal antitrust law. Justice Brett Kavanaugh wrote a scathing opinion. Nowhere else in America can businesses get away with agreeing not to pay their workers a fair market rate. The message was clear. The NCAA's days of controlling athlete compensation were numbered. 10 days after the Alston decision, on July 1st, 2021, NIL laws went into effect across multiple states. The NCAA, facing state laws it couldn't stop, and the Supreme Court it couldn't defy, surrendered. For the first time in history, college athletes could profit from their name, image, and likeness. At first, it was small. Local car dealerships, pizza shops, autograph signings, but it didn't stay small for long. Within months, Alabama quarterback Bryce Young reportedly earned nearly $1 million in endorsements before ever playing a game. Today, Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders has an NIL valuation of over $6 million. He signed deals with Nike, Beats by Dre, Gatorade, Mercedes-Benz, and Under Armour. Travis Hunter, the two-way star who just won the Heisman Trophy, is worth $5 million. Texas backup quarterback Arch Manning, who barely plays, has deals worth $5 million, thanks largely to his legendary last name. But here's the thing. NIL wasn't supposed to work this way. Enter the NIL collectives. These are independent organizations funded by wealthy boosters and alumni that pool money to pay athletes. Technically, they're separate from the universities, but everyone knows the truth. They're recruiting tools disguised as NIL opportunities. Tennessee's Spire Sports Group generates $25 million a year. Schools don't have to directly pay players anymore. The collectives do it for them, and they're using that money to lure recruits and poach players from rival programs. It's pay for play, just with extra steps. But NIL didn't destroy college football alone. It needed a partner, the transfer portal. The transfer portal launched in 2018 as a simple database, a way for athletes to explore transferring schools without losing eligibility. But when you combine unlimited player movement with million-dollar NIL deals, you get something unprecedented: free agency in college sports. Every year, nearly 25% of all FBS scholarship players enter the transfer portal. That's over 2,600 athletes shopping themselves to the highest bidder. And coaches, they're no longer just recruiting high school kids. They're recruiting their own rosters, constantly trying to prevent players from leaving while simultaneously rating other teams. Take Georgia quarterback Carson Beck. After helping the Bulldogs win the SEC title in 2024, he entered the portal. Miami reportedly offered him $3 to $4 million to transfer. He took the deal. Or DJ Lagway, Florida's once prized recruit. After a tough season and a meeting with new head coach John Sumrall that didn't go well, Lagway entered the portal. His departure freed up millions in NIL money that Florida could immediately use to recruit someone else. Duke paid linebacker Malik Mensah $8 million to transfer. $8 million for one player. This isn't college football anymore. It's a bidding war, and the schools with the deepest pockets are winning. Remember the old days? High school recruits visiting campuses, coaches building relationships with families, players committing to programs, and developing over 4 or 5 years. That's over. Today, elite programs don't wait for freshmen to develop. They go shopping in the transfer portal for proven players who can contribute immediately. Why gamble on a high school 5-star when you can buy a proven All-American from another school? Coaches now spend more time recruiting players already in college than recruiting high school athletes. They're constantly selling their program to their own players, afraid that a rival school will offer more money and steal them away. And team culture is nearly impossible to build. You can't develop a cohesive identity when your roster turns over by 25% every single year. Multi-year player development is dead. Everything is transactional now. For smaller programs, it's even worse. They develop players for 2 or 3 years, only to watch them leave for bigger schools offering better NIL deals. These schools have become glorified minor leagues, developing talent for the powerhouses to poach. The gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider, and it's getting worse. July 1st, 2025 marked another seismic shift. For the first time ever, schools can now directly pay athletes up to $20.5 million per year through revenue sharing. The era of pretending athletes aren't employees is over. But this creates new problems. How do you split $20 million among hundreds of athletes? Do football players get more than swimmers? What about Title IX requirements for gender equity? A new enforcement agency, the College Sports Commission, has been created to monitor NIL deals and ensure schools aren't breaking the cap. But will it work? Or will wealthy programs find loopholes like they always do? Meanwhile, high school recruits are making life-altering decisions based on money instead of education, development, or fit. 16 and 17-year-olds are negotiating 7-figure contracts. Some are skipping college entirely, wondering if it's even worth it. College football has been fundamentally transformed. What was once amateur competition is now professional sports with a college campus backdrop. Some argue this is long overdue, that athletes deserve to profit from the billions they generate. Others mourn the loss of tradition, loyalty, and the purity of the game. One thing is certain, there's no going back. NIL opened Pandora's box. The transfer portal turned college football into free agency, and recruiting as we knew it is dead. The only question now is, where does it go from here?